On this week's RPM, we're in the west for the Sligo Stages Rally, a round of the National, Border and See It Super 6 Series.
And go now, and go to Innisfree, and a small cabin build there of clay and wattles made. 9 bean rows will I have there, a hive for the honey bee, and live alone in the bee loud glade.
Picturesque Lough Gill, where the gentle waters lap the shores of the Lake Isle of Innisfree, the minute island made immortal by the words of W.B. Yeats. Tranquility, however, takes an afternoon sabbatical as the Connaught Motor Club have planned 9 high-speed tests around its shores. The Sligo Rally. Now this is personal, because this is where it all started for me. You see, when I was a young lad, this used to be a news agency. And one day I wandered in with my mother, and on the shelf was a cancelled Autosport, and from then on I was hooked. Nowadays, the Sligo Rally is a round of the Red Mills National Championship, a round of the Four Seasons Border Championship, and indeed a round of the See It Super 6. And is it popular? Is it what? You know that they've turned away 60 entries. So what about that Autosport magazine? September the 10th, 1954? Would you believe that's the exact copy? So let's see what's happening around the town 44 years later. The Connaught Motor Club was promoting motorsport in the West long before I first became excited by the sight of a dozen MGTDs travelling through Wine Street, as this fascinating piece of footage shows. This hill climb was run over the Curlew Mountains when I was a boy, on what is now, and indeed was then, but with a lot less traffic, the main Sligo-Dublin road. In those days, the events were run for bikes and cars, and if you had anything vaguely sporting, you slapped a number on it and headed for the top of the hill. Niall Maguire is bidding today for the top of the Red Mills National Rally Championship, and unknown to him, he has some extra signage attached to his Subaru. Niall, I thought this was supposed to be car number 1, not car number 40.
Well, my birthday's tomorrow, and my service crew put this up in the car for me. I didn't know till I come out there now. We went for a meal last night as well, and there's a big surprise for me at last night as well.
Michael Barrable at number 2 has brought along a very strong team with him. Well, Robert, I believe you're the service manager, is that right?
No.
No?
No.
And you're the team manager?
I am, yeah, just keep things, look after stuff.
Right. And what are you doing here?
I don't know, I'm just guiding the car around for the day, but without all the people's help it would be a very difficult job.
Michael, back to the National Championship, always running high on that one.
Yes, it's been a very up and down year for us. We converted our cars, as I said, in cabin to right-hand drive. We were a little bit unlucky in cabin, we had a puncture. We had a good run on the next event, and in Waterford, our first mechanical letdown since we got the car. Oh, we only got to the end of the first stage, so we've used up all our lives as far as that's, and then we have to score in every round and ideally score well, because the strongest contender at the moment appears to be on paper Niall, who's had 2 firsts and a second. He's gone extremely well, and I've no doubt he'll be going hard here today.
Now obviously you're under pressure, because if you don't do well, I'm sure this man says something. What do you tell him?
I tell him to get his act together and keep going.
And what do you tell him?
He's a blouse.
Charlie Donnelly starts at number 3 in the Meteor Toyota GT4. Philip Young is at number 5, and Paul Parks is the top local interest. Paul, you have a major involvement in this rally. Not only are you the top local seed, but you're also a sponsor.
Yeah, we're just trying to keep that local thing going, you know. We've been in it for a long time, and we're we enjoyed our rallies, you know, on the railway driving escorts. It's a change to see them doing pretty well in events, you know.
I think everybody else enjoys them too.
Yeah, well, we like to put on a show if we can, but things is going well with the car, you know. It's reliable, you know, the Slash 5, so we're running fairly well in the championship, so hopefully today we'll have a good day.
Eamon, I can't believe that this is the same car we saw a week ago in Lurgan Park.
That's the same PR plum. There was a lot of pounds straightened out from last weekend, but we had a little work cut out for us during the week now.
You told me at the time it wasn't too bad, and I didn't believe you for a second.
It wasn't really too bad, mostly pound damage, so all cosmetic. So we got it fairly well straightened out. We burned the midnight oil now during the week, and with a lot of help from a few friends, we got her up and running again.
Well, the very best of luck today, because you deserve it after all that effort.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get a good run today and keep her in one piece.
It's a typical one-day format with 3 stages done 3 times. Stage 1 is followed by service outside Manor Hamilton. Stages 2 and 3 are to the north of the lake, and then they repeat the process 2 more times before returning to the Sligo Park Hotel. Stage 1 and Mick McQuaid and Victor Fields get off to a very bad start in the IJM Mark II Escort.
Father bumps. Where are they? What's wrong?
It's a very different story for the Doherty brothers from Carndonna. The Keystone Lindell car sets the opening test alight with a time 7 seconds clear of the opposition. They drop to second, however, after the second stage, then top the charts again on stages 3 and 4 to lead into the second service. In fact, it's a Subaru joust all the way. Birthday boy Niall Maguire departs the tarmac briefly on the first stage, but he pulls back 10 seconds on stage 2. He's now just 5 seconds behind the rival Legacy. The Barrable bosses are in hand to watch Dad, who is in 3rd place after the first 4 stages. No blouse about that. But the ex-racing driver is complaining that his Toyota isn't pulling properly out of the slow junctions. Tom Spence and the ex-Fisher Subaru Impreza moves up to 4th after the second stage. And Seamus Leonard leads Group N, and he's in 5th place. Des Moore was a late entry in the ex-McHale Toyota, but he's fortunately been reseeded, and he's now 6th. And that's Charlie Donnelly pulling off. Philip Young goes through on stage 1 on his test session for the Ulster Rally. And eventually Charlie reappears at a very reduced pace.
Yes, we've got another turbo going. According to Kenny, he reckons it overboosted. And when it overboosted just a split second, it just broke and went straight out through the bonnet. So we'll have to go back to the drawing board again.
And through the bonnet it went, like a meteor, I suppose you could say.
Small class, 150, bumpy past 3rd lane. In a jumps on scene. There's the 3rd lane here.
At last, Mick McQuaid has got the Mark II going, really going.
And a medium right. And jump up and dip 100. Medium right, tail out, plus together.
Dominic McLaughlin is the top local driver, and he's currently in 7th place in his rear-wheel drive Peugeot. But Mick's in more trouble.
Brakes all wrong. Yeah. 60. Fast. Yeah, brakes all wrong. Fast right over crest, 60.
Yeah, the brakes seem to be the problem. In 8th place is Norman Armstrong, who nearly overshot there. And Mick McKenna gets into the top 10 in his rear-wheel drive Peugeot.
Right here. 40 to turn square left.
Mick McQuaid continues to make up time despite those dodgy brakes. And Johnny Miller is second fastest in Group N after the first stage, but he will retire with engine failure on the second. Eamon McAleenan's in trouble again, and this time it seems to be electrical.
Easy left into caution crest and jump to medium left past farm. 60 bump and dip. Fast right, left over jump, don't cut, and easy right 130.
Ballester driver Paul Parks is second to Norman Armstrong in the entertaining Mark II Escort battle. The Parks fuel car lies just outside the top 10. But Eugene Donnelly's moment of glory is nearly over, as the Maharad driver will retire from 5th place when he stops on stage 4.
Treble caution dips into K left, into hairpin left, drive round it. That's it, is it?
I'm afraid it is, Mick, as Paul Gaffney's camera captures. The front suspension is damaged. But is the IMJ Escort drivable? Mick seems to think so, but the steering arm is broken. I'm afraid that's the end of their rally.
Awful slippy. There's parts of the road just never driven roads with slippy in my life, and very, very narrow, big grass verge in the centre, and if you touch it at all, it just seems to push you out into the hedge. But a couple of near moments, you know, but nothing too bad. If we can keep it going the way we're going, we'll be happy enough.
Well, now, we haven't got the latest bulletin yet, but are you in the lead?
Yeah, unofficially, we're going by our own navigators comparing times there. We're in the lead by 5 seconds from Niall Maguire, and Michael Barrable then is in third.
I will arise and go now for always night and day. I hear lake water lapping with low sounds by the shore. While I stand on the roadway or on the pavement grey, I hear it in the deep heart's core.
As we continue to lap the lake shores of Lough Gill on the Sligo Stages Rally, Stephen Whitford is really charging to try and close the Seat gap. He sets fastest time on stage 6, but it's a prelude to disaster as he crashes out heavily on the next stage. Mike Brown and Alex Davis are home in a boat, as they not only win in Sligo, but they also take the Seat Finance Super 6 Series and are destined to become professional rally drivers. Second today is little consolation for Mark Fisher and Gordon Noble, as the big prize is now decided.
Narrows, handbrake and gravel on exit. 50. Very fast right. And easy right. 50. Caution left, max over bump. 30.
Retirements are now coming thick and fast. Mac McKenna and John Loughran retire from 10th, and Philip Young and Philip McRae from 8th on stage 7. Dominic and Stephen McLaughlin disappoint the local fans when they stop on the same stage and give away 7th place. And Eugene Ferry and Kieran Kelly blow out on the same test. And so we honour the top 10 on the 1998 Sligo Stages Rally. Mike Brown and Alex Davis make it into the top 10 on their way to the end of a day that they will always remember, the gateway to a new career. Max and Peter Savage win Class 11 in the Mark II, but this time they are not the top locals. That honour will go to the car that is just 1 minute, 1 second ahead of them. Niall Maguire and Anthony O'Brien from Tubbercurry come second in Group N and 8th overall in their Subaru. The first County Sligo crew home. Armstrong and Podge New win Class 11A in their Mark II Escort in the usual sideways style. On Tom Spence and Eugene O'Donnell's Group A Subaru, something has obviously snapped. This damage on stage 5. And not surprisingly, the Impreza's handling has not been quite the same since. Seamus Leonard and John McCafferty from Oma bring their Mitsubishi Evolution 5 back to base in 5th place, the winners of Group N.
The car went well, so it did. Just second stage, we seemed to lose a lot of time on the hairpins all the time. We just had a drive around them, so we did. But all that, the car went well all day. We put 4 new tyres on it this morning, and that was it. Never looked at her, pedal, and that was about the height of it.
Driver Des Moore and Colin McKenna get another good finish in the Border Championship round. They've not been a bit sheepish on the Sligo stages, and they narrowly beat Leonard by a mere second. But the top 3 have been in a class of their own. Michael Barrett, navigated by the tarmac champion co-driver Brian Murphy, take 3rd place. With one fastest time to their credit, despite that slightly off-song engine. As in Cavan, the 2 Subarus have fought out over every mile. Again, as in Cavan, Daniel and Michael Doherty have to settle for second. But make no mistake about it, this 24-year-old from Donegal is one of the coming men of Irish rallying. Well, I see you've got the champagne in your hand anyway, Daniel.
Niall left a wee bit in the bottom of it here now. It has a very wee bit.
Well, the last time I talked to you, you were actually leading this event.
Yeah, we were leading it maybe a couple of times a day, and Niall took it back and we took it back from him, and going into the last stage there was 3 seconds in it and he took a further 5 out of us, so we finished 8 seconds behind him, and delighted for him.
Michael, but you're right up in there with at the top of the national level.
Yeah, it's nice to know that now, and today they've been so slippy and it's great experience, and it's not been long before that boy there has a full bottle of champagne with him, let me tell you.
I think you're right.
I hope I'm right.
It's a big birthday for Niall Maguire. The Monaghan man now leads the Red Mills Championship, and he and Anthony Nestor will celebrate well into the night. In the ever-changing weather, they gambled on slick tyres on the final stage, and that sealed their first Sligo win.
Every time we go out now, there'll be a good battle between the 2 of us now. Definitely now Daniel, he's definitely not afraid of the driver, and have to take my cap off to that now. He's definitely, and a very good sportsman as well.